26, 27.
Looking at dispatch, show me 10-8 for mission row.
22 Lincoln 12 to last. I'm never going to be able to call. My battery's out.
William,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Going on patrol?
Alright, excellent. You're going to do my FTS too.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I'd like to do it. Who is your FTS to?
I will use my unit, but you're going to do my FTS too. Take me through it.
Alright. Wait, you're the cadet in quotes?
You want to stay on duty or?
21 George, 22
Okay, you're going to be actually the cadet.
1 second. 1 second.
22 Lincoln 12 to dispatch. Show me dropping 26 25 and responding to 26 27 code 3.
1128 to dispatch, that was 10-9 to DOC, 1 times 10-15, code 4.
Cadet McWilhelm on duty right now.
Davis, how did I do?
Select out of Marco? Davis.
1 second.
Link 15 session code 6 at 26, right, sir?
Okay, I'll tell me when begin because I think you're going to act like the cadet, right?
Yeah, what's up?
Lincoln 12 to dispatch code 6 at 26 27.
You did great, Chase. You did great.
To dispatch. Question issued in 70s.
Alright, yeah, I'm going to be your cadet.
Whites.
Okay, I don't know why for, but okay.
21 Lincoln 27.
Okay, so
Sorry, go ahead.
let me just go through your notes.
21 Lincoln 27 to dispatch, code 2 to 26 29.
From the beginning.
Well, looking 23 to dispatching traffic is last.
Okay. Let's close. We're going to start our patrol. Go ahead and disband your unit and join me as soon as you can. Let's see if you can do that.
Okay,
Looking at
loaded.
dispatch, same traffic as last.
My unit is going to be 21 Adam 11. Just let me change it.
Well, for the purpose of this, we're going to be using my...
Okay. Go ahead. What is your unit again, ma'am?
22 Sam 10, but the rest of it will be the same.
Okay, go ahead and get any vehicle of your choice. We're going to start our patrol, and you're going to be the one driving.
Excellent.
Okay, so right here we're going to talk about a little bit of code responses, traffic stop, things like that. Right now, I need you to actually call us under started watch and 10 information row if you can, if you know the procedure.
22 Sam 10 to dispatch. Show us 10-8 from mission room.
Perfect. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to tell you where we'll... No, we don't go out yet. The driver is the one in charge of keeping up with the suspect, things like that. So you're going to be the driver at this time. We're going to perform some traffic stop, felony stops, etc. etc. Right now, you're the driver. One thing that I need to tell you is the driver locks the vehicle. The driver is going to be the one that is going to be in charge of have the vehicle locked, because if we have everyone locking and unlocking, it's just going to be a big mess, and if you want to get into your vehicle quickly, they're going to actually be a mess and you're going to lose the suspects. So first things first, now that you call us 10-8, we're going to go through the code responses. So
Okay.
there's three types of responses. There is going to be code 4, code 2, code 3.
You did fine.
Code 4 is going to be the one when we're going to respond
but
to
Grace
license
Hunter
and
is
respecting
so
traffic
you have to
stuff,
match
things
that.
like
And then you
that,
have
respecting
fucking
all the
Mary
traffic
being
laws, something that it doesn't
right
require
over
being
for some
in
reason.
emergency right away.
On 26, 27.
I mean, like,
Code 4 is
you
like
seen Grace Hunter, I was like
someone that is
literally
going to
responding to her
respond
point
to
and
his
telling her
vehicle
that's
stalled.
our
This
problem.
dispatch shall
the woman have it
respond
right now because he
26
just
at
wants
27.
Sorry, the radio is really
They're all
loud
after
and
today.
I can't hear you on
29.
the radio to get it.
Give me a second, let me see if we can go.
In
Let
general.
me go to the notes to see if
All
we can
girls
radio
in
silent
supervised
with
team.
this.
We don't like you.
I don't want to go radio silent. I just want.
And you
be
had to
able
defend
hear
yourself
it
against
full.
that, right? You had to
Alright.
sit there and you had to be strong.
So again,
And that's what you did.
code
That's what you
4,
did.
right? You have to be actually respond to all traffic law responding. Something simple, something that is not an emergency. Someone wants to respond his wants to report his vehicle stolen, something like that. Okay. So we just go to the person, ask for the detail, things like that, and just grab the information. This does not require an actual response, an actual emergency response. Code 2, something that is need to be attended right away, but is not like we have to be right away over there. But so code 2 normally is lights only,
My bad,
no
I'm having
sirens.
some internet problems.
Traffic
Thank God they
warning
didn't show up
intersections.
during
Go
the
ahead
meeting.
and look both ways before
I would have
proceeding.
committed suicide.
Well, you have to go a little bit
If I had
faster,
internet
maybe
problems during
a
the
little bit,
meeting, I would have committed
speed
suicide.
limit. Be
Like
careful, you
literally.
have your siren sound, so the people in the intersection will not be able to actually hear you.
Even
and you
even
have
wait
to
for
lock
me.
both-
Jesus, like to
look both ways
continue
before
with that.
proceeding.
That's
Well,
why
a great
when I
example
jumped
of
in
a
back and he was like,
go-to-
"Oh, would you?"
what can it
We were just
be?
talking about it. If you wanna add anything, and I was like, "Yes." We
Okay,
can
go
add
to can
something.
be someone
I'm just gonna
on
say this,
a
and this
traffic
is gonna
stop that
happen.
requires assistance. He's already have the traffic stop pull over. He have the suspect already pull over, so we'll need to actually go ahead and just respond, but not is that quick because the other officer got in and
Rest in
got
peace,
in
Arnold Williams.
on the
First one
the
to
control.
the
So
to fall a victim for the new
right now,
FD.
unless the officer in the
thing
traffic
is
stop
testing
will
thing.
tell you need to step it up, you can
Grace
go ahead
Hunter
and
just told him
switch
take
to
me for an FDS
code
too.
3. Code 3 is license errands.
Arnold.
You're going to do the best to actually get into the.
I believe in him, to be
Level
honest.
dispatch.
You want to do
15
your
to
best
10.
to actually
I
get in
believe he's
there,
doing
but
FTS3,
also
not
you have a license
FTS2.
sirens. You have to be careful while doing
Arnold,
code 3
open up
because people
the,
is going to go
28,
against
10,
traffic.
6
You
on
cannot
the
try
Progress
always
payment.
go
How
to
you
the
do
right
FTS2.
side of the traffic, and also because well, if you go against traffic, maybe there's a vehicle coming up to you, you're going to hit it. So when you go in code 3, always try to be at the right side of the track.
Oh
the
yeah,
right
no,
side of the
he's good.
vehicle.
He's actually good. I believe in you, Arnold.
So-
Crack it down.
Yeah, we'll need to wait. Okay,
Sound
so
on the dispatch.
also code 3,
Arnold,
you should
Arnold,
look at
Arnold,
both ways of this,
Arnold,
both ways in
Arnold.
intersection, things like that. But again, you need to be as
28 to any
fast
available
as you
supervisor.
can.
How copy?
If you need to go, if you want to overtake someone, you have to go towards to the left or someone.
Command
Because
George
license errands,
82
everyone that
last,
is on the
I'll
road
be
knows
10-8 in
that
couple
when
of
they hear
minutes.
license errands, they have to pull over to the right. So you have to overtake on the left if you can any vehicle.
Martinez.
Okay, so those are the code responses. Okay.
Okay.
11 Adam 28 to any available
Okay, so when
supervisor.
you get
Are
called or
could you meet me,
respond to
Mr.
a
Rowe, please?
vehicle, call out, something like that, you have to say responding to a call number and then go to what type of code you're responding. Code 4, code 2, or code 3. Let's say there's a 911 call, shots fired. You're going to say responding to the last 911 call or responding to call number, and then going code 3. Shots fired, code 3. You have to be there as soon as possible to actually help or to help
Whatever
any
for the
civilian that are in
last 10 for, I'll
distress
meet you
or
there at
anyone
Mission
that's
Row.
under distress or actually being
Ready,
shot
check?
at. Life is in danger.
Bye, bye,
You're
bye.
going to be there as soon as you can.
Sergeant Sergeant J, please copy that.
Okay.
Okay, so right now we're going to do a little bit traffic stop. We're going to go at the back of Mission Row. Go to the back of the Mission Row, and I'll go grab my personal vehicle. So I'll show you how it's done. Actually, let's go over there in the parking lot over there. Go over there, and I'll wait you
Wait,
for
did
my personal
dispatch
vehicle.
show me 10-8 on Dutch London Street?
User joined your channel.
Okay, go behind me.
Is this how you usually teach a cadet how to do a 1055?
Yeah, but it with example.
Okay, no.
Why not? There's example. They need to set
10
up
times
how
or
they're going
something.
to set up the vehicle.
The FTO should perform a 1055 as a demonstration. That means that you perform a 1055 with the cadet to show them how it's done.
I also can do that, but sis.
Yes, a real life situation would be preferred.
Yeah, of course, I'm going to be a real life situation, but again, I need to show him how to do how it is done because he doesn't know how it's done.
Okay, show me how it's done.
Okay, so come to the passenger side for me, please.
9F cabin. They should only be at Camden Jackson and be code 4 code 6 on Adams Apple Boulevard.
So at this point, I normally ask the cadet if he knows the traffic stop procedure, asking in the handbook if they know it. Going to make some questions and things like that about the radio pole, how this is confirmed. We're still going to demonstrate here how it's done first of all, and then you're going to take over and trying to do one yourself so you can actually practice. So, what you're going to do over the radio is you're going to try to stop and pull up lights and sirens right behind the vehicle. I'm going to lose just lights right at the time being because
going to Lincoln 12 dispatch. Show me code 6 at 26.
If you see at the line that is right on the right of us is going to be symbolizing the sidewalk. The suspect or the one you're going to pull over have to be at the edge of the road, not no wheels on the sidewalk, anything like that. You have to be well parked on the edge of the road. Have to have a little bit of space on the behind if you're going to call for 1055, things like that, so that they can park behind you. So if the suspect parks in a corner or something like that, you're going to tell him go a little bit forward to a better position, things
Davis,
like that, so
move
you
quickly
can
to
pull
another
over
channel.
correctly.
Make it quick.
And
come down
get
to
some
it.
space behind you, so actually get
Make it quick.
User was moved out of your
behind you if
user
you
left
need
your channel.
1070. So right now the suspect is already pulled over. You issue him commands on the megaphone, things like that, or have to properly pull over. And what you're going to do is you're going to position your cruiser a little bit to the left. It can be a little bit sideways or it can be completely straightforward, but you need to be a little bit to the left. Why we do that? It's going to be a little bit safe. It's going to have like a triangle in front of you between your cruiser and the vehicle in front where you're going to step out and going to be your safe zone. Your cruiser is going to be the one that is going to help you against traffic that is coming from the behind, right? If you had traffic coming from behind, your cruiser is going to be just your shield. But there's multiple times when there's people speeding.
Going to Lincoln 12 dispatch. Show me 10-9 towards
if you
Mission Road.
if you do something like, oop, give me a second. Press. If you do something like this, and you go to the side of the driver over there, what happens is you're not protected, okay? You're not in any kind protected by your cruiser, and they can ram you over really easy, really fast. So what you're going to do is position your cruiser a little bit to the left so you can have some protection. It's going to be like a triangle from this end, right, towards the front end of the vehicle over here. So if you see, you're going to be you have in the safe zone where there's a triangle actually protect you.
Lincoln to dispatch. Show me conducting a 1055 on a red Camacho.
Okay, at this point you're going to call it
Register
in.
is a Jake
We
Willis
have
who
position
occupied
of the
3
suspect, we have
times.
position all
Code
set,
4,
you're going
code
to call it
6
in.
on Vinewood Boulevard.
The way to say is going to say it. I'm not going to turn it ready because, well, we're practicing right here, so you're going to say your call sign. In this case, 22, right? 22 Sam 1.
10-10.
11 Sam 1 dispatch, check 1.
Sorry, radio. 22 Sam 10 to dispatch was performing at 10:55 on, and then you're going to say the make and model of the vehicle. In this case, going to be a Dominator GTX white. Register owner is going to be Arnold Williams. You're going to say the register owner. You're going to pull out the MTC, things like that, so you can actually get all the description of the vehicle. At this case, Mission Row parking lot. Code 4 and code 6 on this time. What it means, code 4 is going you not need any additionals. What you're going to do is actually get out of the cruiser. So code 4 no additionals, code 6 you're out of the cruiser, so actually attend to the 1055. So again, it's going to be really quick this time. 22 Sam 10 to dispatch, show me performing at 10:55 on a white Dominator GTX, register on his Arnold Williams at Mission Road Station. Code 4, code 6. Now, if you search on the MDC, when you open up the MDC and you see that there's a misdemeanor, what you want to call is for additionals. Also, if you see in the vehicle, this time it's motorized, so you don't see who is in the vehicle. If the vehicle is not with the windows tint, what we're going to do is actually figure out how many occupants there is. You can add into the radio call how many occupants are they. If you see 4 occupants and you're up number, it means you're just a Lincoln unit. You can go ahead and call for another unit just to be safe. There's no harm of actually calling another unit behind you, because if there's 10 units, they are available. They can help you in the traffic stops. So again, what you're going to do is look around, look in the environment, look at how many occupants there are. If there's 2, you can handle it by yourself. If you think you can handle it by yourself, the 2 occupants, go ahead and do the traffic stop by yourself. If there's more than that and you can be completely outnumbered, just go ahead and call another
dispatch,
unit.
show me 10-8 on Boulevard Del Perro.
You can have a unit behind you. What we're going to do when you're going to call for another unit, you're going to say...
So anyway, Lincoln 37 to dispatch, we're back 10-8 from Mission Road.
You're going to say is 22 Sam 10 to dispatch, perform 10:55 on a wide Dominator GTX,
just like
register on Miss Arnold Williams, requesting 1070 at my location. You can say why you want the 1070, but there's no requirement until the unit is arrived. So what you're going to do is actually position yourself at the back. Now, if you're going to be the unit that is going to position at the back, let's remind this position at the first unit. The unit behind you is going to actually stage like this, because he's going to be the pursuing unit. The first unit is going to be at the side. Is going to be at the side of the driver.
He's doing some
he doesn't take time to actually get in.
Who do I
he
send
takes
to
actually
get
some
the,
time to get into the vehicle and run
SWAT
off
exam?
to pursue the vehicle. So the one in behind is
Ready?
going
Oh,
to
you
be
get it
pursued
once.
like this, because this is the easiest way to go around the vehicle that is already doing the penalty design. Second one is going to be right here. You have more visibility at the traffic will come in, so you're going to go right point cover to the actually officer is doing the 1055 with the traffic. Okay. So there's 2 units normally in the traffic stop. The older 2 units they want to join. It can be joint position the same as this unit right here. So if if the suspect ran over again, you can go around
show
the
me
first
conducting a
unit
1055 on a bronze Shafter V12.
Okay, let's go back to the primary
Alex Amerson.
So
Code
this
4,
again
code
is
6
the
on Power
primary
Street.
unit. You already assess if you require backup calls in that, things like that. If you require additionals, you set up the radio, you need 1070, and then why you need it. If you want to, there's no need to actually say why you need a suspect until they arrive. Well, the thing that you can do is actually when the unit arrives, you can get out of your cruiser and just go ahead and talk to him why is
for last. Can you drop it back, please?
And so you in this way you can go out here and talk silently to the other officer, let him know what's going on without the actual driver knowing on, because there's some space between you and the driver. So
it's funny when it goes into last. So you're referring to the 1055 on the Shafter?
Him all calm.
44 last
and get the suspect calm, anything like that calm, so he doesn't take off.
Lincoln 8 to
because
last.
the primary thing about the 1055 you want to do is actually try to identify him. Why? Because if he doesn't if you didn't identify him, you cannot place charge if he runs away or didn't do anything stupid. So if you know him, if you identify him, you can do a lot of stuff.
Going to Lincoln 12 to dispatch. Show the call 2631 is a 1099. Is a Polo,
so,
a
again,
call unit.
You already radioed in the traffic stop. You're right here in this position. Let's say you're alone. Other thing that I
it's also
just
the same
forgot,
people that were
but if you search on the MDC and there's a felony, going to call at 1066. We're going to go over the felony step later, but we're going to complete the 1055 right now. So again, you radio in. Actually, sorry. You go to the MDC, you check everything, radio in, register on it, all the stuff, and if you need more units and all the stuff. Say now you're ready you're ready to get out of your vehicle. Code 6. If you're going to get out of your vehicle in the code 6, you're going to do
12
this
to dispatch and
right here.
traffic.
You're going to here, over here, you're going to talk to the driver. You can step out of the vehicle so you can see. Okay, if you're alone, right, you're going to step out right here and a little bit behind the vehicle of the window. Why we do this? Because if you have a handgun on him or anything like that, it's going to be harder to him to actually aim at weapon at your back, at the back of him, because he have to do all the way to the left to actually point a weapon towards you. Traffic stops are the things more dangerous and in our daily basis.
4-21 dispatch, show me 10-9 to DOC with 1
you have
times
to be
10-15.
very cautious here. Well, and another thing you can do is actually place your hand on the side of the vehicle, so actually you can leave a fingerprint of the vehicle later on if we actually spot the vehicle and you have the fingerprint on it and he took off from you. We know that this is the vehicle because your fingerprint's already on there. You can set up any part of the vehicle. You can go over here, place your hand, and so you can identify him, identify the vehicle if he took off. Now, while we step again here, another thing, the good thing that's stepping a little bit behind the driver door is because this metal part over here is going to help you to protect yourself in case he opens fire on you. If you open fire on you, you have your Kevlar, and this metal thing over here of the vehicle is going to protect you. Now, when approaching the vehicle, you have to be courtesy to the man. He doesn't know why you. He may know why you. He may not. So what you're going to do is going to talk to him. Hello, sir. I'm Officer Anur Williams, Los Santos Police Department. Do you have your driver license with you? What you're going to get, and after saying that, the main thing to get into the traffic stop is to identify the driver, because if he took off, you're going to already have the identification on you, already know him. So if he asks why he's being pulled over, you can say steps like you can say to him there are the steps that he's to be followed. Simple as that. You need to identify him first, and then if you want, you can actually give the reason. Normally what I do is identify the driver myself, and then I actually give the reason. But if they keep failing to identify, you can actually charge them to failing to identify. So behind here, you're going to tell him lower the window. You can identify it yourself. I do it as a courtesy to the driver that I'm being pulled over.
21 Lincoln 27 to dispatch, 10-8 from Vinewood Boulevard.
Okay, sir, can you give me your license? At this point, he's going to give you your license. You can tell him why you pulled him over, and a little bit of chit chat with him. But the thing that have to be in your mind is you have to identify the suspect. Better? Better?
No, still.
Better now?
Yep, there you go.
Okay, so the first thing you need to keep is you need to identify the man. Okay? No, I'm not nervous. Okay, so you need to identify the man, because if he runs or anything like that, you already know him, you can place charges. So at the time of pressing charges, you have to know you have to know the man. You have to identify him first before actually placing any type of charges, or speeding citation, or any type of citations. So if you already know him, and he took off,
dispatch, code 6
we can
on
actually go
Avenue,
to the MDC at the charges right away, because we already identify him. So first thing, identify. Second thing, you can tell him why he's being pulled over. After that, maybe you're going to check out. You already saw the register owner of the MDC, so you're going to get ahead and
21
tell him,
go
figure
ahead.
out if he is the register owner. If he is the register owner, you can tell, you can write up a ticket
21
right away.
same
But
traffic.
if he's not the register owner, what I normally do,
23, I'm in pursuit of a
sorry, radio. What I normally do is go here back to the cruiser, run his name back to the NDC, the one that is being pulled over and driving. Go over here back to the cruiser, write his name, figure out if he's wanted of that. If he's wanted, again, call for backup or things like that. Perform 1055 with backup, or perform 1066 is the following step. Okay, so if it's not a registered owner, I will always go ahead and call the registered owner, just in case there's no harm of actually calling the registered owner and figure out if he actually lent the vehicle to that person. The vehicle may be reported stolen. You can go ahead and look into the bolos. If the vehicle is already on the bolos, you know it can be stolen. But if it's the registered owner that actually is driving the vehicle and is reported stolen, you can go ahead and scrap the bolo, because you know the registered owner already took possession of his vehicle. Now again, you ran his name. You assess if you need more units,
User left your channel.
or you need to do a 1065. At this point, you can go ahead and type the citation on your MTC, see if anything like speeding, the reason that actually you pull him over, speeding, reckless up, failing to maintain lane. Those are the most common
User
ones.
joined your
Reckless
channel.
operation, actually a misleading manner, you have to arrest him. Okay, so again, in the 1055, after you write a citation, there's a printed right behind the passenger side, or right in the middle. You can go ahead and print the citation, so you can go back into the driver with the citation in the pen, so he actually signs it. Okay, if you go back with the documents, all the stuff, okay, so you pick up the citation, right, and print it. You over here, and then you go back to the driver and explain him the citation, and he needs to fill it up. Normally I'll go over here. Hello sir, so here is the citation for failing to maintain lane. As I said, I pulled you over to failing to maintain lane. Go ahead and please sign up here. And now, if the driver can sign out, it is signed the documents, means that he knew about everything and he's completely knowledge about it. If he doesn't sign, it's always going to be emailed to him until last known address. So there's no harm. If he doesn't want to accept the citation, the citation is going to be mailed. So again, with the driver, if you've received the citation, we'll say, sir, again, the thing is, we're going to mail you with the citation anyways. The citation is already on your record, so you can't sign it. You need to sign it, but if you don't sign it, it's going to be mailed to you. At this point, you're going to have a clipboard, let him sign the citation, things like that, and then you're done with your traffic stop. If there's something else you need to talk to him or anything like that, you can go ahead, but the citation already is being signed. So that's normally how traffic stop goes. After you finish up, you go back to your cruiser. You can tell him, there's two ways to do it. What I do is tell him that he can go right away. There's no harm on that. The other way to tell him is, sir, don't go until I go ahead and get into my vehicle and turn off my lights off. When I turn off my light, you're free to go. There's two ways. I just normally let him just keep his vehicle, let him go right away. So I just go back to my vehicle, and then I'm going to radio in the traffic stop and radio in the 1099 the traffic code. So what I'm going to say here, I hear ready to call from my end is going to say 22 SAM10 to dispatch is going to be 1099 the last 1055. This 1099 means that you just done with whatever situation that you just been doing. In this case, going to be the 1055. So what I said on the radio is that I just done with the 1055, and going to be 10-8 from the road you are. So this means you're telling that dispatch you're available for any calls after you finish up with your 1055. That's normally how it goes for the 1055. Of course, there's things we cannot expect during 1055. You have to be careful. You have to use your judgment and everything that steps up. So that's the protocol of it. But again, in my experience, there's a lot of things that can happen. You have to use your best knowledge to care about those things. Again, if you need units, don't hesitate to ask for more units. There's no harm on that. That's why there you are. Traffic stops are the most dangerous things, and if you have someone at your 6 to protect you, it's always good. So that's normally how 1055 goes. Now we're going to go towards the following falling stop. This is a more difficult part.
Hold on.
Yep.
That's the 1055 procedure, is it?
Yep.
The entirety? Did you leave anything out? How do I issue a demerit to somebody?
It doesn't say in the things. Okay, yeah, that's true. I had to
Also,
explain it.
in the procedure for a 1055, when you exit your vehicle to talk to the driver, you should always turn off your engine, leave your lights on, and lock the door.
Yeah, that's true. Forget about that. Real quick. Real quick.
Yeah. Happens when you're in the job for a while, you forget some of the steps, some of the vital things that we should be doing.
Oh.
Don't forget to explain
Port on
the
21 to
reasoning
dispatch, show me
behind
10-8 from
why we
DOC.
turn off the engine and lock the doors is because it's a lot harder for a criminal to pick lock
Yeah,
and
I know
hotwire
that.
an engine.
Happens a lot of times, yeah.
Yeah, so we do both. It's a precaution.
Actually,
Also, I've found a lot of people who don't know about demerits, don't know how to issue them, don't know what they're for, don't know when to use them. Make sure you explain that to the cadet as well.
yeah. Going to place the note over there. I haven't done it session 2 from a lot of time.
Former 25 to all units, be advised, active robbery, armed robbery on my back.
Ah, no, that's not a cool one.
Weapons
so-
brandished. Tag 1.
Yeah, forgot those 2 steps.
Corrections, tag 2.
My bad. Yeah, I'll
Okay.
take a note. Now, let's go with the traffic, the following stuff,
Upon
okay?
charge and to dispatch from 10 Central MD with an injured officer.
This one is one of the hardest things that you can do. Well, not the hardest thing you can do, but it's one of the things that everyone just misstep or forget about it or do something wrong. There's a lot of times where the 1055 is doing wrongly and we have officers injured or something like that. So I'll need you to actually pay more attention into this part because the following step has to be done by step, okay? If you open up your handbook, there are the steps of what to do, but again, we're going to go over those steps right here. Normally this time I ask the cadet if he knows the commands to issue to the driver. Go over there, so this time I says if the cadet actually read the handbook a little bit if you have any questions, things like that. Yeah, normally after the 1050 I ask him if he have any questions, and you go ahead and ask and tell him about those questions and clear out those questions. So normally by section I ask the cadet if he understands everything and if he have any questions. If it doesn't, we are continuing or try to go over the handbook and ask more questions about it, so he is going to be completely understandable of it. Okay, we're going to do the 1066. After that, I want you to actually perform the 1055 on me and the 1066 on me, so you can actually practice by yourself. But we're going to the theoretical part again. Okay, theoretical part, the 1066 is positioning. At this point, you know, say you're the primary unit, you know he's wanted for a felony. It have to be a felony. A misdemeanor is normally a normal 1055. So we're busy over here. If you need something, there's officers on the desk, mate.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, so right here is a 1055. Normally the primary unit is going to be the one that stops the vehicle. Is going to be same position on the traffic stop, right? It's going to stay over here. Is the driver of the primary one is going to be the one issued with the commands. Normally what you want for a 1055 is 5 units. That's the best, like, yeah, the best thing you can get for a 1055, having 5 units. The other way, there's sometimes there's not a lot of units, so you have to be resourceful and think about everything. Normally you're going to have 3 units. It can be 1 unit here, 1 in the left and 1 in the back. I'm going to explain this position a little bit further away, so keep an eye. You can perform 1050 and 1066 with 3 units, but it's not the best thing. But in the practice, sometimes you don't have enough units to perform 1066. The best thing is 5 units, and I'll tell you why.
Normally
it is because if you have four suspects in a vehicle, you want to place each of the suspects in each of the vehicles that are performing at 1066. I'll tell you the process of how to do so, but just give it a second. Okay, so we're the primary unit. This is the position of the primary unit. I'm the driver. I'm going to issue with the commands to the driver of the vehicle and the passengers also. At this time, I'm going to tell everyone on the vehicle. The first thing to tell is everyone on the vehicle keeps the hands where we can see them. The most dangerous things as a human being is the hands. Why? Because those are the things that kill you. Those are the things that are going to grab a firearm, grab anything that can kill you. So hands, we always look at the hands. While we're dealing with someone, talking to someone, what we do is actually look at the hands. Why? Because those are the things that kill you. That's why we have cuffs. If we restrain those hands, it's more secure for us because that thing is the thing that kills you. That's why we always have an eye on the hands of everyone. Even where we're normally talking to someone, normal citizens, my tick is always to keep an eye of the hands. We don't know if he's going to be confronted at any time or anything like that, so I will just keep the visual on the hands. Again, right here in the 1066, I want to issue all the people in the vehicle to keep the hands at a visible place. The driver can be on the wheels, and the front passenger can be on the dashboard. The back passengers can be on the headrest of the front passenger. The front. So you want to keep an eye on those hands at all times. So normally you can say, driver and passenger, keep your hands where I can see them. So that's the first step, because you're going to keep an eye on those hands in case they grab something, in case they toss something, in case they hide something in the vehicle. You know that something is going on, and you can actually see the hands or see him moving around where they toss something or if they hide something like that. So if you want to avoid anything like that, you're going to tell everyone on the vehicle to keep the hands where they can see them, so they don't have time to do anything about it. So after that, you're going to issue the driver that with his right hand reach the ignition key, open the window, and throw the keys out of the ignition. Why we do this? We do this because if it's going to take off, we need to actually dismantle the vehicle or disable the vehicle in some way. So what we're going to do is normally ask the driver to take out the keys of the ignition so he can throw them away, and at this point we know that the vehicle is disabled because he cannot take it on, cannot turn it on and take off. Okay, so let's say we're going to pull out a vehicle with 4 doors, 4 occupants. Okay, we're in that situation. Okay, we're doing a 1066 of a vehicle with 4 occupants. So we're going to focus on the driver first. We have to do one by one, slowly. You don't have to rush this. There's not a race. You can do it slowly on this. Sorry about that. Okay, so after he tossed the keys out of the window, he doesn't have,
I've got many blue vehicles serving a grey car at City Hall.
Actually get the keys. You can tell him to toss as far as he can. We can get the keys later, things like that. You have to be careful with this. Okay. So what we want to do is issue the driver to get out his both hands through the window. So after he tossed the vehicle, he tossed the keys, you can tell him to get out his both of his hands out of the
vehicles. Drop me back up.
Why? Because you want to keep again.
21 to dispatch code 3 to the airport.
2114 dispatch, traffic.
Okay, so he tossed the keys, right? Right now, both of the hands are out. You keep on visual on both of his hands, right? So to keep the visual at all times on his hand, what you're going to do is tell him to open the driver's side door with from the outside. It can be with his right hand. Normally it's with the right hand because it's the dominant one. If that hand is actually busy, is way for you. Is
Staff 2, how many units do I
you.
have responding to City Hall?
Someone tell us we're on scene. It's not a very urgent situation.
21 Lincoln Express 70, all units be aware. The airport has many injured people.
Okay,
WCA
let's
and
continue. So
more,
you're
at
going
least
to
10
issue
injured.
the driver to open the vehicle from the outside. That way you're going to keep on the hand. You're going to keep the side of the hands at all times. So you tell him, open the doors.
21 Lincoln Express have no active shootings, but a lot of injured
There's no
people
rush
and
at
vehicles
all.
driving around the
Everything
scene.
has to be slow and peaceful. Okay, so going to tell him to open up the door slowly and step out of the vehicle slowly without facing us. Normally, if there's a nighttime, if you're doing this 1055 at nighttime, you want to have your high the spotlights on and all of that. Why? Because all that helps you if the suspect is out of the vehicle, right, and he turns around to open fire on you, and you have your high beams on, your light spotlight and everything on, it's going to be way harder to him to see you and actually hit you if he actually turns around with a weapon or anything like that. So try to keep all your lights on the truck. Keep the full visual of the suspect. If you're behind the lights, right, let's say right over here, he's going to be way harder to him to actually spot you.
21 Lincoln 14 to last. I'm gonna head up off the highway.
Okay, that's use of the equipment. Okay, now at this point, if the suspect already is out of the vehicle, you're going to tell him to not look at you. Like, he have to be looking in front of everything and not looking at you. You have to be just aiming at this way westbound, not against you. If he tries to turn around, you tell him to turn around and do not face us.
11 Lincoln 20 to dispatch. Can I get additional 1070 to 267? I've got an uncompliant Jester.
Vehicle, you're going to tell him to keep his arms his arms up, so you can have full visual of his hands at all times. So at this point he's out of the vehicle, right? His hands are up, he's facing away from you, and he's down, he's out. You're going to get out of the vehicle, right? You're going to have your door open because it's going to give you a little bit more protection.
Okay, 11 Lincoln 20, I've got a vehicle in front of me that's not pulling over, but yet not really evading. I can get a couple more additionals responding.
I'm going to do the passenger in a little bit, but right now I'm going to focus on the driver. The driver issue commands. As soon as he gets out of the vehicle, everyone on the 1066, well, not
we're going to be going to tack 1, please.
The back, going to talk about that later.
Dispatcher is 10-9 with 1
is going to stay in the vehicle. So
All
normally,
right, we currently have units beside us, do this?
yeah, it's going to be 5 units, but I'm going to explain
Something
that later.
Something I would suggest when you're explaining it, I don't know if you usually do it or not, is to place barricades where the other units are.
Oh no, that's a good suggestion, normal. Oh, I didn't.
Something little tip that I always like to do is I like to place the barricades where the other units are, just so that the cadet can get an idea of how large the scene is and the positioning of the other units, just so that they're aware.
Alright, I like that actually. What I normally do is explain this, the first position, and then tell him that we were, and I moved the cruiser over here to the second position, and visualize the other one over there. But yeah, placing blockades is good to visualize. Oh, I like it. Thank you, Grand Hunter.
12 looking 23 units a day.
So,
would you require any more units?
Now you're here. Your door is helping you to protect you from anything that he may do. He have his hands up and all the stuff. The driver again will continue with the commands. What you want to try to do is he's going to be up here, right? He's going to be like this, with his hands up, trying not to face you. Again, he's have to be like this. You have to issue commands to say to keep him like this. So the main goal is to get one by one out of the vehicle into a secure place and to arrest him. So after you tell him to step out of the vehicle, you normally do side steps or back steps.
21 Lincoln 15 is station 10 to Michelle for a short break.
And tell him to keep going backwards towards the sound of your voice. You are going to be here.
The step?
Yeah, sorry. So right here, in the time that he's out of the vehicle with your hands up, what you're going to tell him, you need to find out if he have any weapons on him. The best way to do it is to check his wristband. There's a 80% chance that his weapon is going to be at the waistband, but the other time it can be on his knees or can be on his neck and well, in his I don't know how to say it, in his foot down here on the back. So normally they have their weapons on the waistband.
Form 25 to 11 Adam 28. How about
lift his shirt up from the
Form 25 to last? Could you please make an arrest report on that guy and include that he had the silencer and stuff?
He can actually pull his shirt up, so we can reveal his waistband without actually reaching.
Could you please make an arrest report on the guy I sent you, so you can add inside that he had the silencer and stuff for the detectives?
10-4 for 11 Lincoln 28.
Before to all units at the airport, so make sure you bat down any body before it goes out with ID.
Lincoln 8 dispatch, show me 10-8 from DOC.
Is Hunter taking you hostage?
Yep.
You have your hands up.
Yeah, I know. Hunter is
New
always
Lincoln
taking
14
hostage.
to dispatch, show me 10-9 to mission roll.
Okay, again, so he's going to lift his shirt, he's going to reveal his waistband, and this time you're going to tell him to do a 360-degree turn. In that way you can check all his waistband.
21 Lincoln 14 to the units at the airport. There's a Brioso Black coming in at high speed.
See anything on his waistband.
Alright, so you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can will be used against you. You have the right to government appoint attorney. Done 6 on that.
Pendant George entity dispatch attack on is 1099 on suspect in case of this was 10 and that's long.
Former 35 to all units, be advised of a huge convoy at the parking lot. Strawberry Avenue.
Okay, so
all
now that you, let's see if you have a weapon.
12 Lincoln 12 dispatch, should be code 6 at Alice.
11 Adam 28 dispatch, it was 10-8 from DOC, heading back to PD jurisdiction, code 4.
22 Lincoln 12 to dispatch, show me 10-9 at the airport. I'm processing 10-15.
Okay, so after you check, let's say it didn't have anything, and well, if he has anything, right, You want him to keep your hands up at all times. You want to tell him, do not reach for it because you can get shot, anything like that. So he can be more careful actually getting into the side.
Pointed at the parking lot requesting assistance urgently. Code 3, please. Heavy weapons, parking lot. Heavy weapons.
Getting Hunter, getting Hunter, getting
X-ray
Hunter.
the blue Paragon R.
Staff Toodle unit, be advised, not many units available, lots of situation.
1128, so what's the call number?
11 Lincoln 20, you've got 3 units en route that have just been diverted from the scene.
Calling. Go a bit now.
I just got hit by the contender.
On your knees
right now. Everybody on your knees. Everyone. On your knees. Get out of the car right now. Get out of that car right now.
Get on your knees now.
Get
out of the car now.
Get on your knees.
On your knees now.
What the fuck, dude?
Everyone on their knees. I don't care.
Get on your knees now. Get on your knees. Get on your knees. Get on your knees now.
Off the bike and on your knees.
I called you. What the fuck? I called
everyone on their knees. Okay.
Important to dispatch.
I called you.
Unit available.
On your knees.
Stay put and do not move. Get on your knees now.
Can you call up MD?
I'm bleeding out. Can someone help me?
All right, we have an injured civilian. I want a BLS kit over there immediately east.
Biggs, go.
Grace, the Zetas were robbing us.
On your knees!
Can we have X-ray, please?
Now!
You did nothing, come on!
On your knees! On your knees! On your knees! Now!
Okay.
Do not get up off your knees until I tell you.
Civilians go on their knees, guys, chill. Just stop chaos.
Alright, who made the call?
I did.
Waxon?
Yeah, I did. Yo, it wasn't me this time, I swear.
Tell me what happened.
Alright guys, remain silent please, okay?
Only person who should be speaking right now is Waxon to me. Tell me what happened.
Okay, look, I went to here, and all I see here is a guy with a shotgun aiming at this guy. And I probably robbed him or something like that, but yeah, I can be sure.
Alright, guy with the shotgun, what was he wearing?
He had a blue beanie. He was driving a white car.
Okay.
Sports car. Yeah. That's what
Alright, man, you're being detained. You're not under arrest.
Alright, Waxon, please stand over by the wall.
And because I don't know the situation, so we'll go
on their knees because you're involved in the scene of a shootout. Everyone is going to be questioned and released as per.
Alright, so you're not under arrest.
You're not in trouble.
Yeah.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you do or say can be used against you. You have the right for a government opportunity to legal question, okay? Tyler, you understand your rights?
Detain him, check if he has anything on him.
Alright.
Christopher, what's your involvement in the scene? Alright, perfect. Can you go stand next to Waxon, please, at the wall? 10 Zeta cars. Alright, so far we figured out that it's Zetas robbing these guys. Any idea why the Zetas are targeting you, sir?
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to contact IA, I guess, for getting
Can you
searched.
please stand over by the wall by Waxon, please, Christopher? Alright, Tyler, you need to contact IA?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know why they
Yo, Einhard, your cursor is top of you, mate. My cursor is top of you, yes. Can you move a second, just I don't harm me?
Probable cause is around the scene of a large shootout. We don't know who's the enemy and who's the victim.
07 dispatch, situation at the parking lot is code 4 this time.
My badge number is 8184.
Search this one right here is all clean, nothing on him, record clear.
Alright, perfect. Cuffs off.
Okay, man, I'm going to relieve you from your cuffs, okay?
This guy over by the car, did anybody search him?
If there's any situation, we roll up and there's shots fired, we're going to secure everyone on the scene, okay?
Alright, sir, I'm going to be detaining you for a search as you're on the scene of an active shooting.
Then we check out everything's okay, you understand me?
Hello?
Okay, I'm going to release you from the cuffs. Keep it easy, go around the scene, go ahead and stay over there, or keep a look at the scene if you want to, but far away from here, okay? Do not interfere with that. Is this your bike?
At this moment in time, you're not being arrested, but you are being
Yes, you can take your bike.
He's not gonna fit it off
slowly, okay?
Kind of will use against you the right to a government appointed attorney during any legal questioning. Do you understand those rights?
You're making me need that painkiller as well.
Is there any injured Anderson?
Nah. We're just detained.
Go slowly, okay, mate?
Oh boy.
For whatever, forward to the splash, show it 10-9 to Central MD, escorting an ambulance.
Alright, you said it's not your pistol? Back by the wall, please.
I gave you the background check.
Going to look into auto dispatch. Show me escorting Andrew to Central with 21015.
21 Lincoln Road 7, same traffic.
The guy who robbed him dropped it. Are you sure?
You two guys on the ponder, the situation is still ongoing. Go ahead and park your vehicles until it's all done, okay? There's a lot of parking spot here. Go ahead and park it.
No. Would I see you getting into this vehicle? Didn't I tell you to get out of the vehicle? You're a friend of Waxon. Is this Waxon, is this your vehicle?
Stuff to the banks, please remain with that ambulance. They're both 1016s in it, but just keep them safe. Provide us.
Is this your vehicle, Waxon?
Oh no.
Alright, can I get a plate scan on this?
Can I have a SD card?
Would you like to explain to me, sir, why you're carrying a pistol that
confiscate it and destroy.
Daniels, come on, stay on the sidewalk, mate.
Yeah, like, cause I don't know, like the meat looks kind of weird, so.
Medic, can I get a ride? I can or can't?
First one to
Sergeant Hunter, the register owner is.
First one to any tenant units.
Can you contact him and ask him if he wants to come and find his vehicle, or is he on the scene?
Just say the truth, man.
Sergeant Hunter, the register owner has a felony. I don't think he's going to respond or anything like that. I'll try, but he has a felony.
Alright, perfect. We'll get
First
it
one to any
impounded.
units at Mission Row. We've got a suspect in the tunnel heading in that direction.
22 CMC to last, we're gonna head there now.
Yo, medic, can I have a pain pill? I was shot.
Any trespassing of a person's private property is also a crime. GTA, Grand Theft Auto is a crime. You understand?
Okay, we really need to go ahead and class in 2 minutes.
I'm going to the individual that was shot. He had
Alright, I'm going to be releasing you from the cuffs. I'm going to be confiscating the weapon, and I'm going to watch you walk on your own 2 feet out of the...
Stay behind the barrier, please.
Hello there, is this Mr. Anderson? Hello, can you hear me?
Step back, step back.
Is this Mr. Anderson? Hello?
Sir, from now on, do not pick up any unlicensed firearms. Get yourself a weapons license.
Mr. Anderson, can you hear me?
Tyler, get up,
Mr. Anderson, you can hear me, an officer in Williamsville Santos Police Department. We just found out your vehicle, mate. I don't know if his report is stolen.
4 dispatch, show me 10 line to mission row 2 times 1015.
Yes, Wax.
Staff to the last. Make sure you get a convoy going. You got 5 15s coming, so let's get them all going at once.
Okay, Mr. Anderson, we're going to have your vehicle on the parking lot. You can go ahead and retrieve it in time.
4 to staff to, it's just going to be saying at mission row, not DOC.
10-4. We'll have to get everybody prepped at mission.
Alright, Tyler, you're also part of the attempted robbery?
Huh?
You're also part of the attempted robbery? The Zetas tried to rob you as well?
Who were trying to rob me?
21 Lincoln Troy 7 to dispatch, 10 to mission over 1015.
Going to Lincoln 12 to dispatch and traffic is
No, like they were trying to rob everyone in there.
Going to Lincoln 12 to dispatch and traffic is
Anybody
last.
hurt or missing any items?
No.
Alright. So, who told me there was about 10 Zetas?
Oh.
Is that you, Christopher? Alright, can you recall any of the Zeta vehicles that you saw?
Well, I saw some. They had like a big variety from Kamatsus to Hakutsus to
body
Comets.
cam footage? Excellent, here
I-
we go.
Yeah, perfect.
Sergeant Hunter, the register on and responded to me.
Papadakis! Oh, perfect. Papadakis, could you please deal with Christopher and get his body cam footage? Make sure it's all above board.
Yeah, sure.
And
I'll
then
take care of
with
that.
the body cam footage, if you don't mind, we're going to save a copy of it, Christopher. With said body cam footage, don't forget to make an incident report. You're too lazy? Not you. The officer here is going to make an incident
No, I will do
report.
it. Don't worry. We are the ones doing the paperwork, not you.
Elton, you need to.
All
confirm
you
it.
need to do is provide a copy of the body cam footage.
Did a random guy just get on the police bike and just do one? Or was that actually a cop?
21 Lincoln Troy 7 to Sergeant J, so copy.
I think your police bike though has got nicked in front of your eyes.
Was there a police bike?
Yeah, it was right there next to the white BF 400.
Is that your police bike, Papadakis?
4 to last, go ahead.
21 Lincoln
Well,
Troy 7 to last.
whoever it was,
1015
it's
going
gone,
to DOC.
so-
Is the other one in your cruiser going to DOC as well? If yes, I can
You
take
just
more.
watched it drive away.
I can't get my fucking truck.
Alright, send me your email there, okay?
Staff to the last.
Papadakis,
Report
can you
on
confirm
Sergeant
that
J,
your
so we're
motorbike
arranging
is
transport for
missing?
everybody going to DOC. I'll be there shortly.
Oh my god, as if nobody leaves the bikes unlocked, bro. Even cars, you should know this.
Well, it was not last time I said.
What a rookie mistake. By the way, Brandon, you're probably gonna have to wait because the Packers had to wait to get out.
Alright, no problem, Christopher. Right, let's pick up these blockades. We're on the lookout for multiple blue vehicles.
And don't forget
And
about
now
your
a
police
police
bike.
bike.
And don't
Yeah.
forget about your...
Alright, send me an email there, and we'll take care
Alright.
of the footage, okay?
Papadakis, what's your unit?
425.
For Mary.
No, not all. The HQ, just send it over my email, okay?
What is it? For Mary what?
25.
22 Sam 10 to all units be on the lookout for a stolen police bike for 4 Mary 25.
Imagine losing
you
your
don't
own
have any
police bike
footage?
in front of your eyes.
There you go.
By the way, if it's helpful, the guy's wearing like a white, kind of like what he's wearing, like a full white suit.
22 Sam 10 to dispatch be on
Just-
the
just in
lookout for the
case.
police bike with a suspect wearing all white.
I can't believe you. I
21
can't believe you just let it
14
happen.
to
So we
last.
don't have any
Is there a
footage,
panic
right?
or a backup
Alright,
active
looks
for
like
that?
we have no footage.
Yeah.
Let's get these barricades
Yeah.
up. Let's go
Yeah, can I talk
get
to you
on to
about-
other things. To who?
Yeah, for sure.
Alright, you said that you contacted the owner of this vehicle?
Yeah, he didn't. He opened. He hand out. Well, not hand out me. He picked up the phone, didn't check anything, and so I told him that the vehicle is going to be named Pama.
Okay.
You have a felony evasion on the record and misdemeanors.
Alright, let's go to impound.
Because I've got a books in the garage and I've got a two-seater car. So.
Yeah, so I said,
Guys, to the sidewalk and don't have that truck in the middle of the road. Come on. And don't kill an officer.
Staff 2 to Officer Briggs, 1020 to Mission Row.
Do you?
12 link 25 to last.
You're going to follow me?
I'll be there in about 2 minutes.
Yeah, impound. Let's go. 22 Sam 10 to dispatch, just 10-9 to the impound.
Uh, 21 Lincoln to Central last. Did you say we were looking for Murray 25?
22 Sam 10 to the last, 10-4 police by.
21 Lincoln to 7. I still see it in the GPS. Somewhere in the bank.
22 Sam 10 to the last, 10-4. It was a suspect dressed all in white that stole it. Please check out that area.
Drove like 13 to dispatch me, 10-8 from Mission Row.
Let me do the report.
It's a letter, not a number at the end.
Yeah, it's a letter. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Who's the register owner again? Just forgot the name.
12 link 25 to dispatch. I'm 10-9 around the Mission Row.
Thank you, just give me 2 minutes so I can fill up this report.
Staff 2 to Officer Briggs, what's your ETA? I've got transport waiting for you.
12 link 25 to last. I'm heading from DOC right now.
Staff 2 to last. Oh, okay, never mind.
11 Lincoln 16 dispatch, me 10-8 from Mission Row.
Someone to 4, David 4. This is going to be standard convoy speed 100, straight to DOC. Thank you.
Whatever fourth last time 4.
just get
12 Lincoln 13 to dispatch room is found to call 2702.
21 Lincoln 14 to 1070 available. Can you 102704 for our stolen Mary?
There you go. We can go back to the parking lot.
21 Lincoln 14 to dispatch. Cancel 1070. I have the Mary unit. I'll call Betty for.
22-7-10 to dispatch, show us 10-9 back to mission row.
21 Lincoln 14 to all units. We have a ton of backup calls that are open still. If you don't need them, please close them.
Okay, so where we were, the man was with his hands up right here, right? We already checked the waistband, everything like that. So your primary objective is to issue him orders to be right here in front of you, so you can actually bring him down to his knees and cuff him. So we already searched your waistband, we already searched that everything is okay. You're going to tell him to walk forwards to the sound of your voice, because you're the one that is behind the vehicle over there, and this is where the place you want it to be keep this right here. So you're going to get over here, and if he has a firearm, you're going to retrieve the firearm.
When do you retrieve the firearm?
When he's down on his knees.
No.
Hello.
Like this.
Can you help me
No,
get my car from
that's
the
incorrect.
impound?
No, we cannot, sir, but if you go to the impound and ring the release bell, someone will. Right. When the suspect is out of their vehicle, they're gonna have their hands in the air.
Yep.
You're gonna issue them the demand. Are you talking?
No.
Okay. You're gonna issue the demand to pull their top up to their neck. This gives us clear visual of their torso. You're gonna ask them to do a 360. The man is gonna turn around.
Yep, or explain that.
Slowly doing so. You're going to check if you can see any weapons. If you can see a weapon at this point, then you tell the man slowly with his hands visible to please drop the weapon carefully on the floor. So at this point, if they have a weapon, they should disable it, they should take it out, and they should put it on the ground in front of them very slowly. They should then stand up.
I'm 28 to dispatch, shows
and then
10-9
they
to
should
missionary
stand
vehicle reviewed.
one step back from the weapon.
No, 28 dispatch, 10-6.
To be honest, when I write it, if he reached for the weapon, that is way worse.
No, the reason for
21
this
Lincoln
is
14 24 Mary
one, I've
25.
seen
I'll
people
call.
asking them to kick the
Or
weapon
Martin
away. I
had
don't want it being kicked anywhere. It could be
21
kicked to an
Lincoln 14
accomplice,
to
it
the
could
last.
be
Can you?
towards you, it could
I'm
be
here with Mary,
accidentally
or
discharged.
with Betty,
So
trying
they
to
put the
tow your
weapon
vehicle back.
gently on
Can
the
you
ground.
please release
It
it?
is at this point that you're asking them then
Or
to
maybe
take
we'll
a
have to
couple
let
of steps back to you so that you're
12
separating
Lincoln
them
13
from
to
the
dispatch
weapon.
room is found to
If
call
at this point when you ask them to put the weapon on the ground and they decide to turn around and try and shoot at you, you have multiple officers at their cruisers behind protection that can shoot back. If you ask a suspect to come back to you and he still has his weapon, if he gets back as far as here and he
Staff
decides,
2, I
you
need
know
a
what,
mark unit
fuck
to my
this,
call, please. We're gonna be pulling over.
he's gonna pull out his weapon around, bam, 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 all dead.
He's the same as he was there, but okay.
Well, if he's up there, he's not as close. He has to aim harder.
Okay,
You
well,
also have a
they changed
better
that then
visual on him
because
when he's up here.
I actually write it that to be here. Like 2 years ago, I write it.
No.
Staff 2, I
Go
need
to
a
yeah,
the
mark
they-
unit
handbook
to
I
and
mean-
have a look at the
Listening, so pulls over,
1066
please.
procedure.
That's what I'm doing right now.
At this point, if they are armed, you instruct them
21
very
Lincoln
slowly to drop
14
the gun
to
on the
last
floor.
U of A, back up, back up.
Then ask them to walk back towards you.
Okay, to be honest, they changed it.
Repeat 27.
Didn't know it because when I wrote it, that actually I
October
wrote it.
13 to dispatch.
It was
Code
over there.
2708, not 1099.
Okay, so the purpose of this
from New
exercise, if
Empire
you haven't
Way.
already guessed, is for me to evaluate your
21 Lincoln
methods
14
and
to
your
dispatch from Memory
knowledge
to
of the handbook,
27th.
protocol,
Wolf,
and
go through.
procedure.
Yep.
This is going to be a general thing.
Yeah.
Don't
That's
worry
okay.
that it's just you I'm picking up.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's
Going to
for
Lincoln
this
12 to
exact reason.
dispatch, showing drop.
Sometimes there's
12
amendments and
going
updates
10-9.
made to protocols and procedures, and oftentimes officers don't keep themselves updated on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I see in that like this thing because I
Just
actually
like now.
yeah because I actually wrote it. These have
Staff
be
to
over
dispatch, show
when
me
I
in
wrote it.
pursuit of a black
Yeah,
Warner.
handbook and
I
then
need
change.
one more additional, I'll be
Thank you much
intact.
for the update, but yeah, I didn't know about it.
No problem. And this is the problem, is if we have FTOs training cadets and they're training either outdated or incorrect methods, then from the ground up, we're
Yeah, yeah.
going to have
I
incorrect
fully understand, yeah.
methods and
Yeah, I fully
officers
understand
not
that.
doing the right thing. Can't be having that. So just make a note in your
Open
training
someone to
notes
special take one
that
clear
they
suspect
drop the
lost.
weapon when they get out and they have done their 360. If they have a weapon, they drop it very slowly on the ground and then they walk back to you.
Yeah, fully understand.
What,
Thank you,
Sam,
Hunter,
to dispatch us,
for
10
that.
enemy-
To be honest, didn't know about that update.
Alright, continue to the point where he walks back to the cruiser.
Okay, so he goes back towards cruiser. The thing you want to be here is to place him down his knees. What you're going to do is actually place him in cuffs, and you're going to bring him and retrieve him out here to the back side of the cruiser. You're going to search him right here, search for everything else that he can have on him, take it out, back it, and then you're going to place it, that guy, you're going to place it here on the back side of the vehicle. Now this is for the driver, right? For the now you're going to do the same procedure as last time, getting him out of the vehicle, to the passenger. You're going to get him here, go forward a little bit over here. You're going to get him over here. You're going to do the 360. And why we do it here? Because all the officers that are over there have a clean view and a clean shot in case he do anything wrong. And you're going to do the same procedure as we did with the driver. Bring him, do the 360, check his waistband, check all of that, drop his weapon at this point, and come over here and do the thing again here. You're going to place it on his knees, you're going to cuff him, you're going to bring him back, you're going to search him, but this is the passenger. What we want to do is to place each of the suspect in a different cruiser. Why we do that? Because they cannot get their stories together. They cannot talk between them. So we need to question them. They're going to be in different cruisers so we can get different stories and figure out which is real, which is bad, and all the investigation protocol. So this guy right here, after you search him over here, you're going to take him to the other cruiser and place it on this cruiser over here. And you're going to do the same thing for each one of the occupants and place them in different cruisers. So you're going to try to place them in different cruisers again so they cannot talk to each other, and we can have a very clean understanding of what's going on after we have to interview him or anything like that. And they cannot talk to each other, whispering or anything like that, so they don't get their stories together. That's the best thing we can do, so actually get better information of each individuals. Again, arresting procedure when you are here on the back, you're going to search him, break his rights, everything, pick up everything you need to pick up from the back, catalog it into the evidence in your trunk, anything like that. Arresting procedure right here. And then you place him in the cruiser. Everyone has to be in a different cruiser. Okay, now this is for the driver, right? Sergeant Hunter, you need to cover.
So it needs a way for a cadet at this stage to remember which passenger goes in which cruiser. So we're going to have the driver, he's suspect 1. Suspect 1 goes to cruiser 1. Right front passenger, suspect 2. Suspect 2 goes to cruiser 2.
Yeah.
So on and so forth. You just remember 1, 2, 3, 4, and they go in the subsequent cruisers. The only two suspects that would be mixed up in that situation is the driver and the front passenger.
Yeah.
In according to where they're sitting.
Alright, perfect. So, after you actually placing in your cruiser and everything, you clear up everything in the vehicle, and you place all the suspects that you think were in the vehicle into the cruisers, right? Each one of the cruisers. You're going to clear up the vehicle itself. We don't know if there's someone in the trunk. We don't know if there's someone hiding in the backseat of the vehicle or anything like that. So you're going to grab, as soon as you can, at least 2 other officers with you. You're going to get over here, and in a line position, the 3 of them, you're going to go ahead and clear the vehicle. So the 3 of you are going to be on the back. On the one on the back is going to stay at the trunk. Is going to stay at the trunk. The other 2 officers are going to clear the vehicle. If the vehicle is clear or good, and they're going to move back to the trunk. You're going to have an officer over here, another officer over here, and you're going to open the trunk because we don't know if there's someone inside with a handgun or anything like that that wants us to actually open fire on us. So we have one officer opening the trunk, the other one aiming at the trunk and going to open the trunk in case there's someone inside. Okay, well, after that. Okay, so that's the procedure for the driver, right? Each one on the 1055.
Attend the SWAT training tonight?
Yeah, I can go ahead and in the middle of it, we can continue with this.
If you wanna go ahead and do your SWAT training, that's fine.
No, I mean, I really want to prove myself that I'm worthy for a sergeant. So, if I have to do this, I will do it.
Okay. I like the determination.
Yeah. So, right here, this is the section for the driver. Now the passenger over here, or the primary unit, you're still on the primary unit, right? The passenger over here is going to aim. If you have another unit over there, the duties of this officer right here is going to aim to the passenger side because he has the best view of the passenger side if someone else pops up out of the passenger side. So this officer right here, his duty is to keep aiming to the right side of the vehicle in case someone pops up or tries to open fire anytime during the 10:55.
21 Lincoln tourist terms of dispatch from your code streets to call 2726.
The secondary unit. Okay, give me a second. I'm going to take your advice.
Tough drop, William.
Just give me a second. I'm going to take your advice.
It's a lot easier with barricades.
Yeah, it's actually way easier. Didn't think of that. Thank you. So that's the primary unit we were over there. This is the secondary unit. Secondary unit. If we have 2 officers, right? If the secondary unit is an atom, right, the one on the passenger side is going to aim towards the driver and help to cover the actual driver of the primary unit who is giving commands. You say so. We did it some time ago. The passenger of this vehicle is going to keep aiming his gun to the left side of the vehicle in case something happens, as the same thing of the right side. Okay, so this individual right here, this officer, is going to aim his weapon to the driver's side. Now the driver of this vehicle also is going to aim the weapon over there. Why this position? If you can see the driver right here, normally it's a Lincoln unit. The driver is going to have cover with its engine block. That is the best thing to get cover on in any shootout. Like that. If you don't have any other cover, like concrete wall, anything like that, the engine block is your second best choice. Normally, the other part of the cruiser is actually not that good because bullets can go through the cruiser. The best thing is going to be the engine block. Now the driver over here is going to have his weapon aiming towards the driver, and when he step up and everything is going to be aiming towards the driver. Okay, now that's the 2 roles on the secondary unit. Now the third unit, give me some, thank you. The third unit is going to be at the back, right over here. This unit, there's no need to keep his doors open because the ones in the front are the ones providing the cover. What you want to do for the third unit, and if you are the third unit, thank you. And if you are the third unit, let's say that's a Lincoln unit, that's another Lincoln unit, and you are another Lincoln unit over here, and you're the third unit. What you're going to do is to try to fill up the duties of the ones on front. So if this one is a Lincoln unit and he is the driver, you're going to try to fill up the position of the driver over here, of the passenger over here, so you can provide cover to the to your fellow officer that is issued commands over here. If no one is at this position, you go ahead and take over this position and help. You're going to leave your cursor over there, but you're going to have to fill up this position over here for the driver, so the passenger side of the primary unit. Now, again, this is another Lincoln. Let's say that one over here is an Adam unit, so the position of the one issue commands and the position of the one aiming at the on the left side of the at the right side of the vehicle. And this one right here is a Lincoln unit, and he gets out over here. The driver of that Lincoln unit is over here. You're going to fill up the position of the one over here of the passenger of the secondary unit. The thing is, we need to fill up the 4 positions in the front, so we can actually have cover on all sides and all times, and also have all the times aiming at the vehicle over there. So these 4 positions are crucial. You have to fill it up if you arrive as a 3rd or 4th unit. So same goes for the 4 unit. The 4 unit over here. If you see there's a position, if you see there's a position that is needs to fill up, you go ahead and step out and fill up that position. Now, if the 3rd unit, you arrive 3rd or 4th, and all these positions are taking cover, you can actually be at the back of the cruiser without any crossfire. You have to be careful to not have any crossfire. That means aiming the gun and there's an officer on the way. Just position yourself, something like that here, so you don't aim in any crossfire. Same goes for the 3rd. What is that different?
You don't move to the back of the cruiser.
Just the 4
Units
positions and
3
that's
and
it?
4 are support units. If unit 1 and 2 have spare front doors, you make your way to a front door for cover. If both front spaces are taken, then unit 3 and 4 act as support. They get out behind their own front doors.
Alright, perfect. They changed that again. Okay, so again, driver here is a support. Everything happens, you help. 4 and 3. Now, there is the 5 unit, right? The 5 unit is going to be the pursuit unit that is going to be over. Same as the 1055.
To the officer with the individual with the charges. What is their name?
Okay, so that is the 5 unit, sorry. This one is the charge of the pursuit. If the guy takes off, this one is going to get the charge of actually going around the units and be the primary unit during that pursuit. This unit is going to keep at all times here in this vehicle because all the other positions are being filled up. So you're going to keep here in the vehicle, and the reason for that is going to be the pursuit unit, and also you're the one covering the officers for incoming traffic. So you have better visibility of the incoming traffic to actually stop what is happening over here and actually try to go around or not go around at all. You assess that in any situation. And that's that 1066.
Good.
Minor updates. Thank you so much.
First one to the last, his charges look accurate to me.
That by so this actually like it.
Removed.
Yeah. So what I like to do is I usually leave my cruiser as unit 1, because once you've explained the front door usage for unit 1, it follows for unit 2, 3, and 4. So when I'm doing the 1066, I like to leave my
1122
unit
Sam
here,
2 to
place
any
barricade unit 2, 3,
22
4,
Sam 2 to any
and
10 units.
5.
We have
For
3
5,
cadets
I
down
like
at
to
the desk. Can
place
someone
a
take them up?
barrier in the kind of pursuit position.
Yeah.
Like so, just so they can see the direction in which each unit is
1128 to the
Oh,
officer checking
perfect.
his charges. He said
Now,
that they would give it to him when
this
he was
next
fleeing
section on
status.
the FTS is new. They added as a
First one to
cinch
last,
manager with
unless
more
we
details.
have an officer that can
normally
corroborate
it's
his
just-
story. There's nothing
So
we can do.
next time is the cinch management, right? Let's clear up this blockades. Actually, you're going to perform on 1050. Well, we can skip that part. This time, I'm going to ask the officer, or this cadet, to actually go ahead and perform at 1055 on me. And actually, he does something wrong, I just tell him why and why he do this wrong, and things like
talking about the
that.
cadets at
Well, at
Mission
this
I'll
stage,
be
if
10-9
you
commissioner to pick one up.
theory of a 1055 and a 1066 with a cadet like this, at this stage you should be taking over the driving and you should be performing a 1055 yourself.
On the field.
Just so on the field, so that they can get a good in-depth on-field experience of what it's like to actually pull somebody over. They get to see you in action, they get to take notes of how you do it, how you do the radio calls, how you pull somebody over, how you deal with it when they're compliant or non-compliant. It's also a good, if he does get into a pursuit, it's good experience for them in a pursuit. They get pursuit training.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, but
And
I
then you
like
can have
to
them
actually...
do 1055.
Yeah, I like them to actually do a 1057 by themselves, so they can actually practice too on myself. After that, I can actually take them
That's
to
fine
do a
if you want to
1055
add that in as extra, but make sure that you do show them how to do one in the field.
Perfect. I'll make sure about it. Thank you. So right now, cinch manager is like a little bit more different.
Alright, do you want to park your car?
What again? Oh yeah, I will do a... Yeah, just give me a second. Oh fuck, there's no space here anymore.
Frank 620 supervisor requesting permission for Lincoln Patrol.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
Okay, so we're going to do the cinch manager. This one is really tricky. Every situation is different, but I'm going to give you a couple of tips of how to provide with a better cinch management. So you have to be careful with the cinch management.
For end of what?
Where we can do this. This is new to the FTS actually. Maybe on the back.
Where do you normally do your scene management?
I actually do it on the field. If there's a situation like I actually go ahead and patrol, and if there's something that requires a cinch management, I actually explain it on the field. But they added to the FTS. It was on the FTS 3, not on the FTS 2, so they changed it to the FTS 2 with more details. Where do you use your cinch manager actually? That'll help me right now.
User left your channel.
So let's... Can you hear me well?
Yep.
Okay, so I don't know where to do it. I can do it on the airport. There is no vehicles in there.
You can go where we used to do the scene management training. You remember the spot?
No, it was too far away when I do the SMG. The MC. When they did the SMC, it was back into test.
21 Lincoln 27 to dispatch. Previous 1055 is going to be 1099. Being a lookout for a white Prima Custom, or is going to be Sebastian Grove.
was way
Felony evading shall be back 10-8 from Gresham Highway.
we didn't have
Alright,
SD.
well, where we used
Tower
to do
Island,
scene
that's
management
dispatch.
training is up by Mirror Park, you
10-8
know, the little
formation.
place up there.
Yep.
The little cul-de-sac.
I know where the gas station is.
Yeah, head towards the gas station.
Okay.
For everyone to dispatch, disregard 2736, please.
Only 13 to 21 Georgia 10, we will go to FS pitch.
21, turn down George 10, thank you.
Lincoln 6. Dispatch should be 10-9 to impound lot.
21 Lincoln 22.
12 Lincoln 13 to 12 item 13 to last, go ahead.
21 Lincoln 22 to last. Can you please come to backup 2738 for a 1055?
12 item 13 to last, we're on the route.
Alright, so you want to take the next right up here.
The next intersection?
This intersection here, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Alright, so this is where we do scene management training with these 4 lanes when you're looking to block off 4 different tracks.
Okay, so I'll explain the cadet. Let's say there's something right here in the middle of the 4 intersections. I need to block off all
User in your channel timed out.
all the 4 ways to actually provide with a scene cover. So what I normally tell the cadet, you have to look the traffic flow as a water flow. You need to keep going the traffic, keep fluid the traffic. But in this case, is the thing is right in the middle. We need to secure the complete scene and block off the four incomings lanes over here. So we normally what we do is to provide, right, if they say, let's say that is the traffic or the situation right here. Let me just change it with a con. I actually like that idea.
It's a lot easier when you use the equipment you have.
21 on the meeting, the dispatch was code 6 escalator 7.
Lincoln 27 to dispatch
Okay,
55 in the
yeah,
Black Star Cater,
situation is
James
right here.
O'Malley.
Okay, we have someone down, or we
I'm
have TC or
Bench on my code 4 and
traffic
cat 6,
collision
it's gone on
or
Great Highway.
right here, right in the middle.
User entered your
It can
channel.
be a suspect down, it can be a civilian down, it can be anything like that. We want to close the Peterborough. What we normally do is going to use the cruiser as a gate for the incoming emergency vehicles. It can be
Cough drop.
Alright, Dante O'Brady, please escort MD.
Channel switched.
10-6, Dante, go to Mission Row. We got a reception just called, the other 15 is there.
Right here, what I normally do, we need to keep in mind things like emergency vehicles coming through. We need to keep in mind the security of everyone on the scene. So If we need to provide with emergency vehicles, just or a tow truck or anything like that, you have to keep in mind you have to keep one lane open or anything like that, covered up by your cruiser to as a gate. So you can use your cruiser to as a gate. If there's a vehicle incoming, emergency vehicle that needs to get inside in 6-man emergency, you can use your vehicle as a gate. Now, when it comes to roads like these ones or that ones over there, you're going to use this type of barrier.
Following 20 staff 2, is this guy going to DOC or?
Staff to the last. Charges always met DOC.
These type of barriers are the ones used for the road. So you can set up as many as you need to actually close this section. There you go. Now this is our rain for roads. What you're going to use for actually the ones on the sidewalk or anything like this on the green thing over here. The grass is going to use these ones. And then just remember you have to keep moving your cursor to actually get there.
Show me 10-8 from Royal Livingston Boulevard.
He's taken off, he's taken off.
12 and 13 to dispatch, pursuit tech 1.
Okay, again, these are the type of barriers we're going to use for sidewalks and things like that. We're going to block the way so that pedestrians or civilians that are way too interested on the field doesn't get into the actual scene by itself. There you go. So now you have this section covered, and you can have the vehicle, your vehicle, as a gate. So it's going to be just like this. And if an emergency vehicle needs to pass by inside the scene, you can go back a little bit and let the emergency vehicle pass by. Fire, ambulance, tow truck, anything like that. Simple as a gate. Now we're going to cover again the other side over here with normal barriers. That is going to be the ones for the pedestrians, to keep them up to the point of the field. That's the way we're going to close a complete road. If you need to close a complete road, you're going to do the same thing like this for the others three intersection over there, so we can close the complete intersection. In case there's a traffic that's coming our way, you need to tell him to turn around because this section is closed. So he have to turn around or anything like that if you have the complete road closed. Now, the third thing that you need to keep in mind to actually do a sense maneuver is the traffic flow. In this case, we have to block up completely the traffic, but normally we need to keep with the traffic flow. So let's say we take all this out of here. Again, remember gate, cruiser, this type of blockades for the actual road, blue blockades for the ones on the sidewalks and things like that for pedestrians.
22 Lincoln 15 to dispatch, show me 10-8 from Mission Row, tow DD.
Okay, now let's say there's a situation right over okay. Better now? There you go. Can you hear me now? There you go. Can you hear me, Hunter?